Hello everyone, this is Mike from Journal Mode. I thought I'd do a slightly different video today, bit unedited, just unscripted, just talking about the Vice Media news that's going on in the last 24 hours, which is absolutely nuts. The headline from it is that Vice News is no longer to be publishing stories on its website. It's no longer to be updated, and the Vice News website itself is likely to go down in the coming days. Um, and it's resulting in hundreds of job losses. They're saying they could partner with other media outlets to distribute their content, and they're even saying about their other lifestyle brands like Refinery 29 could be up for sale. And it's massive, massive news. I did a whole video about Vice News back in the day, last year, of course, where I described why they rose to the prominence they did in the 2010s to then hitting a brick wall just before COVID. COVID accelerated all these changes, all these job losses, all these changes at Vice News. And then now, I think, last year, of course, they filed for bankruptcy. And then this news has just come out last night that they're going to lay off several hundred staff and stop publishing on the website. Now, it all really came out from tweets from staffers online. So if you go on the Vice uh, Twitter search here, it all really came from this internal email that has been sent out. So someone there was rumors going around that Vice were going to close down the website. So there was a lot of scrambling from staffers who were very confused about the whole situation, didn't know what's going on. You had freelancers and former workers at Vice scrambling to go on the website and find all their articles, download them, and get PDFs of them. So they had an actual archive of their work, and it's been very, very confusing. And then there was an email sent out to the Vice staff, which goes on here and basically explains why they're making the decisions they are. Not quite cropped, but basically they're confirming. In short, they're no longer going to be publishing content on Vice.com, instead put more emphasis on our social channels as we accelerate our discussions with partners to take our content where it will be viewed most broadly. Very interesting, considering Vice was big, and its YouTube page, as you can see here, has 8 million subscribers, nearly 9, of course. And as I just said there, that it had so many social media pages, apps, newsletters, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, even TikTok, and even all these documentaries here, which is a quite broad range of stories here. And even if we go on to just general Vice, you know, they published a video yesterday, so they're still publishing content, but you can still see that this was really a out of nowhere move from the bosses at Vice. So, of course, we've had this is the email from Vice CEO Bruce Dixon, who's obviously just explained all this. So Refinery 29, they're going to continue operating it, but they're going to maybe look at selling it. Now, Refinery 29 is more of a lifestyle website. It's more aimed towards younger people, predominantly women, and there's a lot of like search things and a lot of just answering the questions that people are searching for. And then the big line it comes from here, from what Anna sent here, is that they're saying they're going to realign their resources and streamline their overall operations at Vice. This means reducing the workforce, eliminating 700 positions, 700 I said, sorry. And they said it wasn't a decision not made lightly, and those employees who will be affected will be told in the next few weeks, considering local laws and practices. Now, usually in the UK, when you go for a redundancy run, there is a consultancy period of about 4 6 weeks, and you'd be so it would mean that you'd work as normal up until the point of you get made redundant. But I'm not sure how it is in the US. I think it is different. But he signs off this bizarre email, which I don't know how to really get the tone of, because it's basically saying, "Oh, we got made loads of people redundant. Sorry about that. Let's move on." And so they basically say it's the best path forward advice as we position the company for long-term creative and financial success, which is a bit funny, really, when you say that, because when you lose several hundred talented staffers and reporters, you sort of are taking a massive hit to your creativity and your productivity as well. As we're seeing with a lot of publishers in the UK who are, making cuts, and the output is noticeably different as a result. So this is absolutely bizarre. And of course, a lot of people have been tweeting about it. Um, as you can see, it was trending one point last night on Twitter from what I saw. But yeah, it's very bizarre. Very, very bizarre. It's all, and this news has made the obviously the mainstream media. It's gone on the Press Gazette. Press Gazette is a very good resource for talk about the future of the media, and also what's happening um in the media landscape. It's very, very bizarre. And then obviously, as you can see, this is as of Friday morning in the UK. This is what it looks like. The last story was published yesterday, um, and a lot of affiliate stuff there, horoscopes, a lot of lifestyle. It seemed like it was really reporting as normal, but the output was slowly declining because obviously they had job cuts and maybe people were leaving. I think that's what the Press Gazette was saying. I'll put in the description below about them. But yeah, it's an amazing uh, it's an amazing downfall for Vice, really, because as I said, I made a video about Vice, so I really had to delve into the origins of it. But Vice was something that was originally a skater magazine, really good, successful American magazine, and it had brands like Motherboard, Noisy, and the Creators Project, all great brands of interest in perspectives on various subjects. But you had Vice, then it went to Vice News, and that was born from Vice's various documentaries and reports across the world. Um, it's its parent group, 10, 15 years ago, spent about £50 million into Vice News to hire journalists to head up various branches across the world, and they did provide some very you know thought-provoking coverage, of course. They looked into the Russian invasion of Ukraine, the side North Korea, the civil wars, and features on ISIS. But you had like these sort of weird eccentric takes on life. It not only on the website but also on in written articles, but also on YouTube as well. So you had stuff like about the world of drugs, sex industry, weird habits, and I do remember the video the video about making a fake restaurant, the best rated restaurant in London, which was really good watch. But it was something that was gradually increasing as as the digital media bubble was there. It was the future of journalism. Everything's moving online, everyone's becoming more accessible and connected on the internet. So that's why digital media really was the future, and obviously that's why Rupert Murdoch's 21st Century Fox, they invested about 70 million Vice in about I think it was like August 2013. And at its peak, Vice was worth uh, about 400. It was about worth about 500, not 500. It was I'm sorry, $5.7 billion after they turned down Disney's offer to for more investment and takeover, and they even had were invested. The private equity group TPG. They invested £450 million into them in 2017, but that seemed to be the peak in terms of the business. Shane Smith was very passionate about the project and what they were doing, and then it just was downhill from there. Really, they spent a lot of money, as it's all said on the screen here. They had hundreds of millions of dollars in debts. They couldn't get a sustainable revenue model. Of course, they were very reliant on digital ad revenue on their YouTube channel, their website, and as I've explored in other videos, and Press Gazette have done great stuff about this, but how digital ad revenue is just not sufficient enough to ensure a news publication continues and is not financially viable. And then obviously COVID hit. COVID was sort of accelerated a lot of changes in the media industry and shrinking it and cutting staff. They lost. They cut. I think they cut about 55 jobs in the US and about 100 globally in 2020. And then last year was the big one. Um, you know, and April last year, Vice was restructuring and downsizing its Vice News operation due to budget issues. They cancelled Vice News Tonight and other programs, and they laid off dozens of people. Um, and they went for they filed for bankruptcy, and shortly after as well, they were then bought out by the Fortress Investment Group, Soros Fund Management, and Monroe Capital. All these hedge funds businesses who they basically used the secured debit they held over the company just to buy the company. And now we're at a situation where Vice is now dead. They from that point, the last 12 months or so, it's been very. They continue as normal, but the output's been reduced. Obviously, they haven't been making so much money, of course, and there you go. And this is why Vice are in the position they're in. Um, you know, and it's amazing, really, absolutely amazing to see this. Obviously, we had Vice News closing down last year, but looking at Vice now is it's just it shows the digital media bubble was just burst completely, um, and it's absolutely astounding to see this has happened, really. So as I said, why has this happened? It's because they just haven't been able to recoup that investment they've put into the business. The big one is digital ad revenue. I've said this in the video about I've made a video about why ads are so terrible. Hopefully I can put in the comments below. But that explains that digital ad revenue is not alone, should not be relied upon to make a digital media outlet profitable and sustainable. In 2024, you need digital subscriptions, you need paid newsletters, you need donations, you need to diversify your income. You can even do native advertising, which you get paid advertising for, working for brands or whatever. Those are really, really important if you want to, uh, you know, ensure you can pay for your journalists, but also pay for the upkeep for your news website. So that's a big issue. There's also been uh, many, many other reasons why Vice are in the position you're in. Obviously, they've cut so many people, they lost a lot of talented members of staff, um, and they've just continued to go on as normal. But it's really the money has been the issue. There's been, I think this is something that needs to be explored elsewhere, but there's been questionable investment into the company as well. There's been links to Saudi Arabia with the Vice from what I've read, and total mismanagement from what I've heard of the Vice brand, and that's why it's just what it is. It's not just money; it's mismanagement as well, and there's a lot of questions to be raised. But what we're seeing here is a wider issue, I think, with digital media. If a site goes down, where does the copy go? Where do these stories go? Of course, and really, you can if you got the direct URL, they would be archived on the Internet Wayback Machine, for example. But but if you don't, you can't access this content at all. And having a domain. I mean, in the UK here, I mean, the domain costs about for a year. It costs about £80. But obviously, with Vice, you've got to think of there's that. But there's also the server costs. There's also the video player and all that support. All those things cost money. But for it to be so radical and closing down the site, it's just there are massive financial issues and wider issues at play here that I think will come out in the coming few days. Um, and we go on from there. Just seeing what the latest reaction is, and it's just very sad. I think a lot of people have been shocked. It's just come out nowhere really, and hopefully all those people have made can get jobs elsewhere. I know that there's stops publishing. Um, yeah, that's it. Yeah, so Matthew Champions shared a tweet here that shows that the content management system that Vice reporters use to upload stuff has been turned off. So that basically means no one can publish anything anymore. But yeah, as he says, there should be a lot of anger with this as well. How has this successful brand gone from being valued at what £5.7 billion, $1 billion, sorry, and now is went to bankruptcy last year. Now is just being turned off. Absolutely bizarre to see it, and we are just seeing. I think there's been some glee, but also the fact that people are losing their jobs, and who knows what happened next with Vice and all the staffers, um, and who is next going to go down. Obviously, we had BuzzFeed News going down. Um, a lot of outlets in the UK have also been shrinking their news operations. What's happening next? And I think it's a damn shame what's happening with the digital media and also the journalism industry. And hopefully things pick up. Hopefully things pick up, but it will need. It takes a lot of investment to do that and sustainable business models because journalism is not a profitable industry. I think that's very clear. But you've got to diversify your income. It's like with the New York Times. They've not only got a paper, but they've also got a news website which has a digital description paywall. They've also got Wordle and all those games, crosswords that brings in a lot of money for them. So they've got you've got to diversify your income, and that's unfortunately that's not what's happening to other outlets, and that's why we're seeing a lot of brands shut down. So there you go. It's a sad day. Hopefully, I've made some sense about it. But basically, in short, Vice is closing down its website. Staff has been told they're not publishing any more stories. Instead, they're going to try and send it to other news outlets. Don't know how that's going to happen. Hundreds of people are going to lose their jobs as a result. You've got Refinery 2019. They're going to sell it. May or may not, and that's it. And we don't know what the future lies. But I will link this in the description of Press Gazette. They explain it much better than me. But I've obviously tried to provide like the wider context here of why they're in this position they're in. But hopefully you enjoyed this video and you've enjoyed my unscripted rant about it. I largely won't edit it. I'm literally just going to take this video and just plonk it right online. But if you want me to explain anything else about the media industry or what's happening next, please uh, drop me some comments below. I've got another video coming up very shortly as well. But if you did like the video, please subscribe, drop me a comment, drop me a like, and hopefully I'll see you again here soon. Take care for now.